Hello everyone, it's Friday night. How are we all? My name is Linda Dolkey and I am a demonstrator with Stampin Up in Australia. How is everyone tonight? This is our regular Friday night live. I do this every Friday night and Sunday night at this time. So depending on where you are in the world, that could be different times, but here in Australia it's 7:30 p.m. So I've just finished my dinner. I'm so sorry I was a couple of minutes late tonight. My son had plonked some dessert on the table. My dad and his wife are visiting us, and so dinner had just been served, and I didn't want to rush out of there straight away, so I ate it as fast as I could, and here I am. How are we all? Are you good? I'd love to hear how everyone's week went. We're after as many good news stories as we can get. But Margaret, I hear that you're very sore and tired. That's not so good, but I'm glad to hear that you're home. That's really good news. Hey there, Deb. Nice to see you. Hi, Cherie. Hello, Suzanne. Hi, Janine. A 2-hour nap. Well, if you needed a 2-hour nap, then that was your body telling you to slow down. And it sounds like you're listening, so that's awesome. I'm so glad to hear it. Hey there, Glenda. Hi, how are you? Hey, Joan. How is Queensland today? It's rainy here on the Central Coast. It's been a weird day, actually. But Cookie and I are here in our little craft room. I've got my phone angled a little bit into the corner because if I go too far this way, you get to see some of my mess at the moment. It's there for two reasons. One is because we have guests, and so everything's come out of the spare room. You know how that goes, right? The other reason is because I'm currently doing a complete re-overhaul of my crafting space as far as all the paper and storage and stuff. And I have so many paper scraps going back for so many years. And I've literally this week gone through all of it in all the different boxes and things that it was in and sorted it all into a central place. And now it has its own storage area. So I'm really, really happy about that. But I'm still dealing with the aftermath of that mess. You need a 2-hour nap now. I know, Cherie. It's a bit like that. Hello, Nancy. Nice to see you. Good to hear, Joan. Hey there, Trudy. Nice to see you. Hi, Rhonda. Hello, Denise. Oh, that reminds me. I've still that stuff that you dropped off is still in the mailbox because I haven't been up there yet. All right. Hello, Cheryl. Cheryl, I meant to ask you, are you subscribed to my YouTube channel? Because I see you're watching on Facebook. But if you were asking the other day about being notified, can you be notified? So what you need to do is go onto YouTube, choose the button, the big button underneath. You go onto my channel, you choose the big button that says subscribe, and then you will be notified by YouTube when I go live. And that's a good message for everyone. Please subscribe to the channel. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe so that you know when I'm going live. Hey there, Marilyn. Nice to see you. Okay. Cherie is asking a question of Denise. Denise, I'd like to know the answer to that as well. All right. Okay. So, yes, first things first, bit of housekeeping. I hope you have all subscribed to the YouTube channel. I'm getting my numbers closer and closer and closer to that magical 10,000. Does anything special happen when I get to 10,000? No. Not really. It's just a magical number that I've chosen that I wanted to get to, a little goal that I have to get to 10,000 subscribers. And I'm at 9. Last time I checked, I was at 9,582. So getting close, but not quite there. As far as the other half of the question, is there something special? I think I should do something special when we get to 10,000, don't you? Something for my subscribers. I'll have to work out what that is, but I should do something. All right, you guys. Let's have a little flick over to the desk and have a look and see what we have here. That is a bit blurry, that camera. I just need to, give me 1 second. Let me see if I can find a little cloth or something that I can wipe the camera with because it looks like it's not very clean. No, is there no, have I not got any, let me see if I can find a tissue or something. Here we go. I'm coming in here with the tissue. Just give me 1 second. So sorry about this. I hope this is going to fix it up. Ooh, a weekend at my place. Well, I don't know. That's better, isn't it? That is better. Yes, it was the camera. Okay. Well, that's very presumptuous of you, Cherie. A weekend at my house. You know you're always welcome, right? I don't need a special prize for that. All right. If ever you're down this way, you definitely have to tell me you're going past and we can meet up for a coffee, or you're welcome to drop in. You thought it was your glasses? No, it's me. Actually, this afternoon I was using, oh no, I usually, even though these are my reading glasses, I wear them nearly all the time around the house because a lot of what I do needs, close work. And I had, it happens if I get something out of the oven or if I open up the dishwasher too soon and my glasses all get fogged up. And that happened this afternoon and couldn't see a thing. Good prize. Don't know. I'll have to have a think about it. Have a think. All right. So, as we all know, this catalogue is coming to an end. This is the September to December. And yes, I know it's the end of November, but that means they've already announced what items are going to be selling out or are going to be retired or discontinued at the end of this catalogue. So we already know that information. There are two ways to access it. You can go and check out the list. I did put a list in my VIP group. If you're not part of the VIP group and you are in Australia, then you will want to go there and make sure that you have signed up. So that's it there, Linda Dolke's private Stampin' VIP group. That's the name of my Facebook group for VIPs who are in Australia. And the reason I do that is because I'm able to talk prices and things like that. I can't do that here because I have a lot of maybe US or Canadian or European demonstrators watching, and I don't want to talk too much about prices. And if I do mention prices, I'm always very clear that they are just in Australia, because I don't want you guys to think, oh my goodness, Stampin' Up has gone up so much. It's actually the Australian prices, because our Australian dollar isn't worth very much. There's only one thing I think worse than the Australian dollar, and that's possibly the New Zealand dollar. So I don't know if I've offended any New Zealanders, but if you guys are from New Zealand, you know it's the truth, right? So, hey, Leslie, nice to see you. Never too late. I was a little bit late too tonight because I've got my dad staying with me at the moment. My uncle, his older brother, or one of his older brothers, passed away last week, and so they're down here because they came down for the funeral, which was yesterday. So I took a whole day out of the business, didn't even post a photo, didn't touch anything yesterday business wise, just because I needed to be with them. And I drove them down to Sydney, which is about 90 minutes to where we needed to go, which was at Minchinbury out in the western suburbs. And then from there we went to visit my cousin who is in hospital down at Hurstville, and then all the way home again. So it was a really, really big day, and we all slept really well last night. But that means I did nothing in my business yesterday. So if you noticed I didn't post anything yesterday, you're correct. I did not. And that is the reason why. So Dad's here tonight, and then they'll leave tomorrow morning. So I'm going to be really honest with you and upfront, I'm only going to do one card tonight. You know why? Because at 9 o'clock, straight after this video, okay, this will be done before 8:30. This video, you can then go and get yourself a cup or do whatever you need to do, because at 9 o'clock, there's another of my videos going live, which is a pre-recorded one. It's one of the Global Stampin' Video Hop. Okay, if you like my video hop videos, that's going live at 9 p.m. tonight. That's Sydney time, but it will be going, so this is 7:30. This one went live, so an hour and a half after this one. Okay, absolutely. Family is the very first priority. Absolutely right. My dad is okay, yeah. He's actually one of 9, Leslie. He's the second youngest, and he's the last one now. His older brother was 3 years older than him, and he like I said, passed away last week. So Dad is now the last one of the 9. Yeah, it is very special. I know. It's okay, Joan. That's fine. You can never too late. That's completely fine. So let's have a little look. I'm so lucky. Denise has been through this catalogue for me and very kindly written out for me all the items that are retiring. Isn't that lucky that I got her to do that? Well, I didn't get her to do that. She offered to do that, even nicer. But if it has an R, that means it's retiring. If you want to access the list, like the Excel document, the spreadsheet, you can get this information. But actually the best place to see this information is if you go into the online store, it tells you click on the section that says last chance products, and it shows you in there exactly what's retiring and all the pictures, much better than a list. There's all the images of all the products that are retiring. Also, there are some items that are marked down. So, for example, the warmest heart dies, the ones with the thermos, those are 40% off, as an example, okay? the Wishes All Round dies are 30% off, and those are retiring. So as you go through, you will notice in the last chance list, some items are retiring, some items are not retiring, and those ones are carrying over. And here in my little list, Denise has written CO, which means it's carrying over. And usually that means it's going to be available after this catalogue goes, and there's a good chance it's going to be in the next annual catalogue. So that's what I'm hoping is going to happen, because as you can see, this black and vanilla 1 centimetre ribbon is carrying over. This is it. And if you're thinking, oh, it's a lot like the other black and white gingham ribbon, it's the same. No, it isn't. This is the other one. This one is the white. And I hope you can see the difference. They're a different width. See, this one's nearly half the size of that one. This one is definitely vanilla and one is definitely white. Can you see that okay in the camera? 5 of you left, Leslie. It feels weird, doesn't it, when the numbers start to drop? It's very sad, actually. It was really interesting hearing all the stories about Dad's older brother yesterday, and things that because my dad did the eulogy at the funeral, and then his son-in-law did like his later life. Dad did like childhood stuff. So yeah, you can see the difference. That's good, Cherie. I'm glad to see that showing up in the camera. Now this one, the white and black, the black and white gingham, the thinner one, this is in the annual catalogue. This one is currently in the mini catalogue, but this one is carrying over. Okay, this one, the white and black, is actually currently unavailable in the annual catalogue. It's currently not in stock. So if you are after a gingham ribbon, this would be the only one you can get right now anyway. But I really like the difference in the size. I find sometimes you want a thinner one and sometimes you want a thicker one. I do like this. It's nice and soft and easy to tie. So if I was to tie it, this is the black and white, black and vanilla. Okay, and then pull that. You can see it ties actually really nicely. Look at that. Isn't it a nice bow? So it's a really nice ribbon. I do like it a lot. In fact, I've decided, even though I use the black and white one a lot, I think the black and vanilla looks really, really good with crumb cake. And that's what I thought I might use it with today. And there's another thing in here that I wanted to use. Now, I didn't know what page it was on, so I better look it up. In the index up here in the back, I'm after an embossing folder. It's this one, the Christmas Tidings one. It's got an R, so that means it is retiring. So happy the Distressed Tile, which is my favorite embossing folder right now. This one is carrying over. Yay! We get to play with it for a lot longer. Some of you saw that, you know, when I did the Abundant Beauty masks on my Technique Tuesday last week, that was the embossing folder that I used to emboss the whole piece after I actually used the masks on it. So, oh, I know, it's very, very sad. I only have one brother. I'm one of two. I'm the older, and my brother is actually adopted. He came along, and I still remember getting him from the hospital, and I was six and a bit when he came along. So there's quite a bit between us. Hey there, Moira. Nice to see you. You like thinner ribbons? There you go. I like them both, but when it comes to tying a bow, I think this one actually tied, the thicker one in this case, actually ties the nicer bow. So if I tie the smaller one, let's have a quick look. Who's enjoying the Technique Tuesday? Should I keep doing those? Do we like them? Has anyone not seen them? If you haven't, you certainly can. So this is tying a nice bow too. I would probably try and make this a smaller bow because it's smaller ribbon, but you can see how they're quite different. This is a lot more full. Oh, you can't see it very well because it's not in the camera. There you go. So you kind of see how they tie next to each other there. Okay. All right, so this is the one I want. It's on page 33 and it's called Christmas Tidings. And here it is, all by itself here. I don't think this this Christmas Tidings embossing folder is shown to its best advantage in the catalogue at all. You can see here they've used it, and a lot of it is covered up by this this square where the gingerbread man is. Here they've got it showing a little corner of it, but I feel like it's such a beautiful folder. And when I first got this folder, and it's $15, by the way. It's not marked down, the folder. When I first got it, the thing that grabbed me, and I didn't realize it until I bought it, was the fact that it will work whether you go portrait or landscape. Okay, because some letters, some words are this way going across the page, and some are this way going across the page. So you can use it for both landscape and portrait orientation. Okay. All right, so I'm actually going to, I'm just going to do this first, and we're going to do a couple of things to it, and I want to show you how it works. So this is a card front size piece, and I'm going to bring in my cut and emboss machine, and I'm going to scroll out. Remind me to scroll back in if I forget, because you know I'm really good at that, but I've got to scroll out so you can see better. Now, when you want to use a folder, this is not a 3D folder, it's a thinner folder. And when you want to use a folder like this one, okay, you just need to take out the thin die adapter, this number 2 plate. If you get rid of that, you can put the plates through like that, exactly, just with that piece taken out. So I'm just getting my top plate. So I've got my 2 clear plates on, but I took my thin die adapter out. And it's a squeeze, but not too bad. Okay, so I'm just going to roll it through. And you can see how nice this is. It's lovely. It's such a nice texture. It feels really, really good. Makes me want to feel it, actually. It's lovely. So that's really nice. And we might play with that in a moment. But then I want to do something different. I've got another piece here. And I want to do something different this time. So I'm going to put this in again, but this side here has, you can feel this is like the letters are raised on this side, and on this side here, the letters are indented in. So this side here, if I was to put a color over this, it would not go into all the edges that are like indented. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use, I'm deciding what color. I was going to go with crumb cake, but I'm wondering if that's dark enough. But we could always do it twice. And I'm actually going to use, this is a bit of a technique, and I might even do this. So I want to put it on this piece here that's on the back of where the Stampin' Up logo is. And I'm actually going to kind of put my, I'm actually running my ink pad all over that surface. The thing is, the ink is going onto the background. It's not going into the dents where the words are. Now, it may not work very well because this color is very light. So I may end up going up to a darker color, but I'm going to start with a lighter color because you can always go darker, but you can't go the other way around. Okay, so we'll start with the crumb cake and see if we like that. So I'm going to put this through. If you haven't seen this done before, like I said, I will probably do this as a technique Tuesday, maybe one day, not for a while, but I want to show you what it looks like. All right, so now that that's gone through, has anyone not done this before with the ink pad? All right, so I'm going to open it up. Okay, that's the back. And when we look at this side, hopefully you can see it's got a bit of colouring. It's not particularly even, but that's okay. That's part of the look, all right? It's not very, it doesn't stand out all that much. Can you see though that the lettering is the normal crumb cake colour and then the background is a bit darker? Can you see that? All right, so I'm thinking I'd like to do it again, but I'm going to move up to a darker colour. Hello, Ellen. Nice to see you. Do you know what was really strange for me yesterday, Cherie, at the funeral? Our family's very spread out and haven't stayed in very close contact over the years. So Dad was still good and close with all his brothers, but like all their and sisters, but their children, a lot of them I've never met. So these are my cousins. And like yesterday, I met probably 10, maybe more cousins and second cousins and people that I had never met before, ever in my whole life. And that probably sounds strange to some people, but that's just how it was because our family was just so spread out. So very odd. Okay, I'm going to do this again, but this time it's going to be a lot darker. So let me move this out of the way a little bit. I'm going to make a bit of a mess, I think. See how dark this is. Okay, the other one was very light. All right, now if I swipe it like I'm doing here, okay, some of that swipiness is potentially going to come out on the background, and that's okay. That's all right. Okay, if I don't like the swipiness, I could pat it, okay, and I won't get the swipiness. But I'm thinking I might like, oh, which will I do? Maybe I will pat it. I don't know. This is going to make it darker if I do this. Because when you swipe it, you kind of put some color on and take color off at the same time. So this is going to be really dark. Let's just go for it and see how it turns out. It might be interesting. Now, I'm thinking, will I do the same piece? Or this one I've already done. What I'm doing is I'm lining this up with the word at the top of the page, decoration. And I'm going to put this over, and it should work okay. And if it doesn't, we can do another piece, but let's give it a try. All right, so it's going to be dark. We know that. It's okay. I'm just going to see how it turns out. If we don't like it, we start over. Because guess why? It's paper, all right? You only have 2 cousins. Leslie, I have so many cousins. I don't even know how many cousins I have, all right? I have no clue. All right, let's see how this worked out. I'm a little bit scared, I have to tell you, but we'll see. Oh, look how dark it is. Oh, my goodness. That's interesting. So we've got our background, which has come out really dark. This one is probably closer to what I was going for, but you can see this one, there wasn't, the crumb cake probably needs re-inking. This is pecan pie, which is a new color, and so it's very inky. Can you see that? All right, so that still looks good though. I still like it. It's nice. But I'm actually going to work, believe it or not, I'm actually going to work with the crumb cake piece, this one. And I'm thinking I might actually add a little bit of blending, and I'm also going to add some white ink. So for those of you who don't know, white ink is one of my absolute favorite mediums. I've gotten all crooked here. Let's try that. Let's come back in. Oh, okay. This looks a bit like, it's almost gingerbread color, isn't it? Don't you think it looks a bit gingerbready? Yes, Sharita said the same thing. There you go. It's not just me. It's a really nice folder. Is that the one you're thinking of, Cheryl? It's lovely. Get it before it retires. Okay. All right. So what you want to do is you want to come in here and very, very lightly, we're going to go over this really lightly with our white ink. And what that's going to do is it might go a little bit on the background, but that's okay. I'm just very, very lightly going over the whole thing. And this is going to highlight the words. Look at that. Isn't that nice? I really like this effect. So we've still got, the reason I have chosen to use this one is we still have some of the crumb cake look of the paper, but we also have some crumb cake of the ink as well. So get a bit of both there. And I'm going to be covering some of it up anyway. So this is the one. If I wanted to do this one, let's just play with it for fun. It would look nice on Poppy Parade. That'd be fun. I'm just going to go over this a little bit. And what this is going to do is kind of make it look a little bit more vintage as well. Very, very light colouring with my white ink. I actually think this looks better now as I'm doing this. What do we think? Do we like that? I really like that. I think that's a fun background. I feel like there's 2 that I can play around with and do some fun things with now. All right. Okay. Which one do we like? Which one does everybody like? Do you like the light or the dark? Because I've also got a couple of tags here, which I thought might be nice. And that could go here. Or I could have it go here, the large one. I kind of like the large and I kind of like the small. That one, I know, this one seems to call for the large, definitely. All right, you love the dark. Okay, make sure your pad isn't too juicy first. So yes, good idea. So Jody's saying she likes the dark. Leslie says dark. Suzanne says dark. Cheryl says dark. Okay. Looks like we're going dark, doesn't it? Okay, then. That's what we're going to do. And I'm deciding whether to go, this is very vanilla because I think that'll go a lot nicer than the white. And I'm thinking I'm going to pick a stamp set that is going to retire, and also a some dies. These are both retiring. The Magical Meadow set is retiring, and so is the Magical Meadow dies. These are both going. I really, really like this set. I think it's so pretty. Such a pretty set. Looking at everyone's comments, everyone's saying dark. Okay, dark it is, and I'll save this one for something else. I'm going to do something nice with that, don't you worry. It does look very gingerbready, and we've got a gingerbread man here, so even more so. All right, so this is a beautiful, beautiful set. My favourite sentiment in here is this one that says, "May this season of sparkle bring joy and delight." I think that's so pretty. So that probably is going to look better on here. But there is also a die that I haven't used in here, and I'm thinking about using it because it's just so nice. And it's this one. This one. See this little guy here? This does like snowflakes, but embossed into your, like, yeah, kind of embossed into your paper with the die. And I thought, well, that might be nice. Let's have a play with that. So maybe if I was to put some of these here on the end. So to do this, I'm going to need to bring my machine back in. So let's bring that here. And then I've just got to find all my bits and pieces. Here they are. So I need to put on my base plate and my number 1, number 2, my first platform. I really need to change my plates, don't I? Oh, well. All right, so I'm going to pop that there and then put this on top. And let's wind that through. And I'll show you what I mean about this. It's very pretty. Can you see that? That's really nice, isn't it? It's, whoop, you can't see it. You see how that's kind of embossed those little snowflakes there on the end? I'm now wondering if I should have just gone closer to the end because I maybe haven't left enough room for my greeting, but oh well, we'll work it out. All right. And I feel like some gold should come in here as well. All right, so I've got my May This Secret of a Season of Sparkle bring joy and delight. I've got that here. And I'm wondering if I was to, I mean, I have got, earlier I put some of these on here, and these are shaded spruce, and I'm wondering maybe having a couple of these poking out from behind. And should we go, if I was to go this way, I could have a banner with my word on it going across, but I think I'd like to go sideways. I think I'd like to go landscape. And what have I got here? I've got, let's see if I have some, I've got silver, but silver's not the way I want to go. I want to go gold, so I'm thinking I need to grab some gold glimmer paper. I've also got copper. The copper would be really nice. Copper and the copper and the gold both would look good. So if I was going to go with the gold, that's what the gold is going to look like with this. It's really nice. Okay, that's probably a given, but we could also come in with some copper, or even, that's nice too, isn't it? That's pretty peacock and copper, that one. So that's also really nice. Does anyone have any thoughts on that? And I'm just going to add a tiny, tiny little bit of it down the end. Not very much. What do you think? Do the edges of the tag, maybe. I don't know if you've heard me say this before, but when I have stitching around a tag, I don't like to do the edges very much. But yes, Jodie's trying to be a bad influence on you, Cherie. I mean, I'm the bad influence here, not Jodie. The cardstock's almost gone. Yeah, yep. I just restocked some of my cardstock. The tag needs aging. All right. Gold embossing palette. Oh, I just had a thought. You guys got me to think about something. I've had another thought. Let's do something a little bit different. I've just got to find it. Here it is. What about if we were to add a little bit of gold leaf? What if we did that and then maybe some gold on the end of the tag? And I will indulge you guys. I'm going to age the edges of the tag with some pecan pie. So I did something silly a while ago. I could not find my gold leaf anywhere. Couldn't find it. Looked and looked and looked and looked and looked, and eventually decided that my gold leaf must have. I figured I must have chucked it or something, gotten rid of it. Of course, I bought more gold leaf, and guess what I found? So I have enough gold left to last me for the rest of my lifetime. This is the new pack that I bought, and this is the old pack that I bought. And see how much is in here? Like a whole container. And I mean, I've used quite a bit, but it's more than half a container full. That all came out of this tub. Okay, don't let the size of these little gilded leafing tubs fool you. There is so much in here, it's ridiculous. And when you open it up and put it in the container, it kind of expands. Oh my goodness. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So I'm looking for a brownish tone rather than opening a new dauber. And I'm going to go in with my pecan pie, because that's my soft suede used to be my go-to for vintagey looks. But we are going to use pecan pie on this occasion. You could also use early espresso. That would work. Crumb cake's probably a little light. But I'm not a big fan of edging something when I have stitching, because I think the stitching is so beautiful. You don't need to edge it. And for me, the purpose of edging normally is to just make something look finished. But in this case, we are actually trying to make it look a little bit vintage. So that's the reason I've decided to humour you all and use a dauber. So we're going to go, and I'm going to add a bit extra in places. I can hear other members of my family indulging in, I don't know if they're playing a game, but there's a lot of laughing going on out there. So, all right, let's, all right. All right, gold embossing powder was the suggestion, and we could do that, but I'm leaning towards one of these other options. I like the idea of maybe using some gold leaf. All right, so we are going to go with the gold. I'm sure I have some open gold sheets, but of course I can't find them. So I'm just going to turn this over. I'm going to do about probably 3 or 4 millimeters. And I always cut, this is a little tip for you, I always cut with the smooth side facing up and the glimmer side down, so that, because the glimmer side is kind of like sandpaper for your trimming, your cutter, and you really don't want to wreck your blades really fast by using the wrong side. So goodness knows blades don't last long enough sometimes as it is. So all right, so this stuff is self-adhesive. You don't even need to use glue. You can just flick your finger over the edge here until it starts to separate. There it goes. And I'm just going to position that there. And then I'm going to turn my scissors, get my scissors and turn this over, and I'm going to cut it off in line with the edge of the tag. All right, like so. It's coming together, right? All right, so I've got a brush that has been designated the gold leaf brush. Can you see why? Because gold leaf tends to stay in here. And there are a number of ways you can do gold leafing, but gold leaf loves a little bit of adhesive. And it's not fussy what kind of adhesive you use. So I'm actually going to get, let me see if I have a silicone mat handy. I need to buy a new silicone mat. I keep going through my silicone mats and then I can't find them anymore. And yeah, I need a new one. I really do. But let me just see if I've got one handy. And if I don't, I'll just use a corner of my grid paper here, and then I'll have to throw this grid paper out when I'm done, but I usually do that anyway. All right, just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit, all right? And all I'm going to do is I'm going to use, I use the smoochy end of the Tombow, okay? And I'm going to actually add a tiny, tiny little bit, smooch it here and there. Now, I'm not worrying about the middle because that's where my tag's going to go. It's probably crumpet out there making everyone amused. That's usually what people laugh at around here. Doing something silly under the table or something like that. All right. Okay, so I've just got little bits of stickiness here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get our gold leaf. And I like to use a brush that, like I said, I've designated the gold leaf brush because it can't ever be used for anything else really. And just pick up a little bit of it. And we're just going to apply it here and there. And it's going to adhere to that bit of stickiness here and there. It's not going to stick full on. And that's what I like about it. I want it to be kind of little bits. Ooh. And you can see this stuff is amazing. It's kind of, if you have a fan on, do not leave the lid off this because guess what? It will go everywhere. I find gold leaf fascinating, actually. I'm wondering, whoever came up with it is very clever. So I just got little bits of it. And you can see it likes to float around and go everywhere, but that's okay. And because I don't have, because I'm going to have something in the center, I don't want it to be all over the place. I only want little bits. Let's just see if I can get a bit of smoochiness down here. Sometimes an embossing folder is good for this because the raised areas are where your glue tends to sit, which means that's where your gold leaf is going to go. And it's just fun to see how it turns out. But the brush will never be the same. Your brush is wrecked once you use it for this. You have to keep it for this. So this little gold leaf brush sits on my desk, waiting patiently for the next time I decide I'm going to pull out some gold leaf. All right, I think that's going to do. Hang on, there's a little bit here. Okay, can you see that kind of little bit of shininess going on here and there? It's really getting the royal treatment, this piece of paper, isn't it? Who would know that this used to be just a plain old scrap of crumb cake in my drawer? Who would know? You're crafting. I'm crafting this, my vellum circle last night. Just found it inside. Oh, you lost your vellum circle last night. Right. Yes. All right. So this is going to go here. We've got a little bit of gold going on around. You could add more if you wanted to, but I'm going to say that's enough. All right. And then on here, I'm thinking this piece of, this is one of the Magical Meadow dies, one of these guys. So you've got some dies. This is that one. You've got some that match the stamps, and then you've got some that are standalone, like these ones. And so I'm thinking I might just put a couple of the standalone ones. I've got a couple that and this color that I'm using here is shaded spruce, which is kind of nice, isn't it? Do we like that? So if I was to pop a little bit coming out here and here, whoop, I think that's rather nice. So they come out sort of towards the bottom there. What do you think? Do we like that? Is that good? Okay. First of all, I'm going to, seeing as I'm using these, the color is shaded spruce. it's late. What time is it, Gail? I hope it's not too late for people. It's 8:14. I will be finishing this up fairly soon. Right, so I'm going to pop this. I want to pop it here, but I'm worried about messing and coming into where the snowflake is. I don't want to lose. I'm going to do it on the back just to see how much I will lose it. Not that bad, actually. All right. Let's try this. Okay, that kind of works. Kind of works. All right. Now, the next thing is I could use, because I think it might look rather good, I could use, oh, I do think that looks rather good. That black and white, that black and vanilla ribbon that we tied earlier, I'm thinking that may end up on here. What do we think about that? It's nice. Not retiring, remember? Not retiring. All right, so I'm going to grab some dimensionals. And I want to see where I want this to be. And I'm going to pop one here, and that's going to hold that in place. Now, we're not going to see any of this here, so I'm actually going to take that off. We've just got kind of a little sprig of it down the bottom here. And then this one. And let's put that on there. That one can stay because there's not much I want to do with this. But this bit, if I wanted to, I could add a little bit more up here, and I think I will. That looks good. So I'm going to grab another one. So these are not only adding dimension, but they're also holding on our sprigs underneath. Just like that. I might just put one more dimensional on here to hold that. And we're going to go this way. Like so. Now this needs to be trimmed. We are going to need bling if we can start thinking about that. And I'm thinking gold bling, seeing as we have gold glimmer paper and gold leaf. Or do we not need any because we have gold leaf? I don't know. I feel like we still will need some. I feel like we need some somewhere on the tag. I'm actually going to place my ribbon right here. And I'm going to use glue dots for this. So I'm not tying it through the hole. I'm actually just going to stick it on top of the hole. Let me come here with my glue dots. To use glue dots, you stick whatever it is to the glue dot, give it a really good hard push, take the whole thing off, and the glue dot comes too. That is the easiest way to use your glue dots. Now, I haven't looked at the screen for a while. Looking, what do we think? Do we like this is how it's going? Bling, yes, bling seems to be the popular choice. Oh, okay, Catherine. Well, good luck. Hope you survived the storm. Sounds Christine's talking about it. Oh, is it that loud? The rain is right on your roof. It's so loud that you can't hear me. Goodness me. Ah, goodness me. Gold festive pearls. Do you know, I don't know if I have any of those left. I might not. Let me have a quick look. I'll tell you what, we can't use the there are a couple of things that have gone out of stock and will not be restocked. They're retired officially. One is the speckled dots that are part of the All About Autumn suite. Another, I noticed them before I came live. I went and had a look to see what was actually retired. And let me just tell you really quickly. I'd like to tell you so you know. This is in Australia. So if it's not retired where you are, you might want to grab it. That might be a sign that it is going to retire. But right now, what has retired? Discontinued. On the discontinued list, the Above It All Dies have sold out. The adhesive back speckled dots that I just mentioned, and the adhesive back star trinkets. Those three things have all gone. Okay, everything else though is still there. There are a few things on low stock, but nothing else currently. Okay, what do we think? Do we like this? So I've actually got some festive pearls, but I think I have used up all the gold. All right, so there was gold on here, but they're all silver and the like little pearly green ones. Those are gone. I do have these. I have these in gold, the brush metallic dots. Those are there, and they're quite nice. I have got, yeah, these. We won't want to use these because they are going to clash with the gold that's on here. What else do I have? I think these are a really good buy, and I'm surprised that they haven't. I wouldn't be surprised if they do sell out, and that's these glittery sequins. Those are, there's a few items that are low in stock, and I'm wondering if those might be low in stock, but I haven't checked, so I can't tell you that for sure. We do have, I tell you what we have some little snowflakes that would match our little snowflakes on here. What do you think about that idea? Those might be good. These are in the online exclusives, so if you're looking for these, they're not in a catalogue. Let me go back and make sure I can see your comments, because I went away from that for a second. All the brushed brass butterflies, yes. You know, I find that so hard to say, the brushed brass butterflies. It's a tongue twister to me. Okay, all right, so let's try these, because they are going to match up with this. And we've got three sizes. We've got these little ones, we've got the medium size, and then we've got the big ones. All right, so let me try a biggish one down here. Oh, I do like them. These are good. And then we've got the mediums, like so. And then we have a little guy, and let's pop him up somewhere up here. What do we think? Do we like that idea? Because it matches our little snowflakes. So it kind of works because of that. Otherwise, the snowflakes were kind of sitting there by themselves, you know, wondering what they're supposed to be doing. But I think that works. All right, so now the question is, this size is actually card front size. All right, so I'm wondering whether I should cut it down and put it on to either a black or early espresso matte, or put it straight onto a basic, a very vanilla card base all by itself. Does it need a matte? Do you think it does? Or do we leave it? We could go with black because we've got black in the ribbon, and that would work. That's okay, Cherie. Brushed brass butterflies, yeah, we like those too. The gold enamel stuff to make your own bling. Ooh, yes, that's a good idea as well. No matte, vanilla base, black. Got a few different opinions here. Cherie said early espresso. The only reason I'm leaning against the early espresso, although it would go, but there's nothing else in here that is early espresso. Although the brown is so dark, we nearly are there, aren't we? Shall we have a look and see? Some people are saying none, and other people are saying a vanilla base. Okay, yep, vanilla base, I agree. But the matte. Cherie was first with espresso, and that's why I'm looking at it. Let me grab it and let's see. So don't forget, when this video is finished, which it will be very shortly, I want you guys to go and make yourself a cup of tea or get a beverage of your choice, and then come back and watch the video with the blog hop that goes live at 9 o'clock. Okay, that's how this looks. All right, can you see how that looks on the early espresso? It's nice. And this is how it looks on the black. What do we think about that? I am leaning towards the black. I do think the black is nice. Oh, shaded spruce was another possibility. Didn't think of that, Leslie. That would also work. Not espresso, says Jody. Black, says Moira. Black. I am thinking because we've got the black and white, the black and vanilla ribbon, let's go with the black, because then we're going to have a vanilla base. So that really is going to bring the ribbon into where we want it to be. All right. So there's a couple of things I need to do. First of all, this is going to be 14.3 by 10. And I am going to have to do a little bit of surgery on this piece because this is also 14.3 by 10. So I'm actually going to cut this down ever so slightly. So I want this to actually be 13.8. I want it to be, I think I'm actually going to take it all off this one side. That looks okay. And then the top, we want this to be 9.5. So I'm going to take a little bit off this. And I'm going to take the rest off the bottom. I'm trying to be, so there's 9.5. Okay, so we're taking little bits off. And now this should fit nicely on our black piece. And it does. Look at that. Perfect. All right, and I'm going to turn this over and we're going to put some Tombow on the back here. Just something a little bit different tonight. We played around with a little bit of technique. We added some ink to our embossing folder. We added some white ink to bring out the color of the writing on the embossing folder. We added a little bit of gold leaf just for fun, because that gold leaf is super fun. If you're looking for a really fun product, I would thoroughly recommend it. It is lovely. And we did a whole bunch of different things with this. Where is my, just got to grab my vanilla card base. I've got one right here. Let's fold that over in half. So who's going to come back and watch the 9 o'clock video? You don't have to watch it tonight. You could watch it tomorrow if it's too late for you. It's only short though, I can tell you. It's part of a blog hop, so you can then go and watch other videos in the same hop. And our theme this month is Christmas giftables or Christmas gifts. So it's not cards. It's actually items that you can use for 3D gifts. Would you like to see what mine is? And I'll show you. Before I get off here, I'll actually bring it out so you can see it. I did them as some gifts for some new team members last month. Super, super easy. There we go. There's our little card today. All right, that's the card. Actually really happy with it. It's something really different. It's quite different to my normal style, don't you think? All right, so this is what I'm making. Super, super easy. These are corner bookmarks. All right, so the way they work is you put them over the corner of a page of a book or something like that. Have I got a book handy? Don't know that I do. I've got a catalogue though. That'll do. Hey, what do you think? We'll use that. Right, and this just goes over the corner of whatever it is you're reading and sits on your book like so. Okay, and the set that I've used to make these are a sneak peek of a new set that is coming in the brand new catalogue that comes out in January called Be Mine, the Be Mine Sweet collection. And the stamp set is called Be My Valentine. Whoops, super cute. This is it. But it's got the cute little bee. And then the bee itself with his little stinger and his stripes, that is actually a punch. Okay, so it's a little punch, bee with a stinger. It does 2 hearts. So there's a heart here that I've done in vellum for his wings and a little heart here, little red heart that I've added. So those are all part of the punch. And then these are little embellishments, little antennae. So cute. Isn't that cute? And I've used some of the beautiful paper. The paper's so fun. You guys are going to enjoy so much of what we have in our new catalogue. So many cool things. This is the paper. I'll show it to you really, really quickly. See the little bees with their hearts, and super nice. There's different patterns in here. You can see little flowers, more bees. I like this one. I like this one very much. This is the one with the honey. Look at the honey. Isn't that gorgeous? Love that. So that's what I'm playing with in my video at 9 o'clock. So something new for you to play with and look at. If you're a demonstrator, you'll be able to get that paper as of the 5th or 6th. I think it's the 5th of December. And then customers will be able to order it in January, 4th of January. So there we go. Yes, Denise has got the dog stamp. That's from the new catalogue as well. That's it. I know. It's so fun. I love sets that are heaps of fun to play around with. But today we have fun with this beautiful folder. Look what we did to it. We totally changed. This is another version, which I'll do something with this one as well, and I'll post that in the next few days as well. But in the meantime, we'll see you soon, guys. I hope to see some of you back at 9 o'clock, which would be awesome. And then I hope I'll see the rest of you on Sunday night, same time as this one, 7:30 Sunday night, Sydney time. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're a YouTube person, and I will see you then. Bye-bye.